Look, that's our new intro. Hey, family. Welcome. Another episode of Black Jewel Tarot. We getting it in today. Yay. That's my girl. Oh, glad to be here. Glad to be seen. El, what's up?
Well, Triple D with Reverend Tiny, that's what's up. We headed into the Temperance today, number 14. And but before we get there, I want to make sure to plug you in to Recovering Life Coaching with Reverend Tiny. All of the information that you need to know to book your appointment today will be in the description below. So go ahead and scroll on down, hit more, and go ahead and click on that link. Once you click on that link, choose a time, and you'll be set. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank
All
you.
right, here we go. 50 years of hip hop, the crack epidemic, and the trauma left behind. Our fool's journey has led us through some interesting places, and here we are arriving at the temperance.
Right? To say the least. I like how you said that. Interesting places.
For real.
So the Temperance. So this is the card that I'm working with because this is what's available. A little warning for the graphic art. So when the Temperance shows up in the Fool's journey, it's saying stop, hold up, wait a minute. I ain't gonna say the rest, but it's slow down, be patient. It's saying you're off balance in the negative, or in the reverse. Um, Imbalance, self-indulgence, access, discord. It's dealing with the solar plexus. The planetary system would be Juniper, expansion, prosperity. So this is a time to reflect and heed the warning, right? Like just slow down. And also the sun coming up represents light, allowing your inner intuition to flow. There's water underneath the feet representing the flow. Why you don't want to cooperate with me? Try. There we go. There's water, there's sun, sunrise. So it's life. There's lilies of the field, and that's a whole nother story. So when we look at the temperance, it's that tranquility. And what I want to focus this evening with the temperance is forgiveness. The temperance is called for self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others, and how that's so important in our life, in our day-to-day life, in our life when we're struggling, in our life when we give up, in our fool's journey. And to just go ahead and get right into it, in my fool's journey within the crack epidemic, was I've shared 3 stories from the justice up until now with the hangman and death. The temperance really allows the soul to halt. It's a time of rest, contemplation, reflection, and inner knowing and inner strength. And you really got to call on your higher self. It's allowing you that space and opportunity to do that. And that's what's important, because when you forgive yourself, you forgive others. And when you're loving yourself, you love others. And that's why the solar plexus is involved with the temperance, the solar, the soul. And we have to look at it that way to see the bigger picture of how we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And that we do have to take time to reflect and to allow a transition. So when I shared the story about when I tried to undead myself, what happened next is I had to forgive myself. And that's why I coined on forgiveness and how important it was. And I'm going to tell you what I did to make my children laugh. Now my daughter, Brianna, she loves makeup, MAC makeup and all the, Sephora and all that. So I went in her makeup and I colored my face as a clown. And so when I went in there, and it was like, what you doing? And I wanted them to laugh. I wanted them to find humor. I wanted them to be a kid again. And I wanted forgiveness. And that was the way that I found that I could express myself, to make light of a deadly situation, to make light of all the stress that I was going through, and then the stress that they were going through that I was putting on them, to do good in school, to respect the white folks, to do this, to do that, because it was overwhelming for the whole party. The whole house was just in an uproar with all these rules and regulations that I had put upon them. Don't do this and don't do that, and read the Bible and do the watchtower, and I want you here, and dinner better be done at 6. And sometimes children just need to play and just be free. The house is clean, they got clean clothes. Like, I wasn't able to negotiate my system because I was raised in a military home, and not that they were in the military, that my mother was just militant about doing things, always on a timer in her head, like 10 minutes to cook chicken, or just, that's the way I was raised. And so that's how I raised my children. And it wasn't conducive to a happy environment. Like, they just wanted to be free, walk around, just walk around and lackadaisical and do what they needed to do at bare minimum. But they could not afford the militant parent, the authoritative parent. It wasn't working. And so after we laughed and had popcorn and Little Debbie's and, chocolate chip cookies and all of this, we all spoke. We all spoke to each other, apologized, and I let them say their piece. And I learned this from the AA program, where allow your children to have a voice. This was not something that I learned at home. At home, growing up, it was to be seen, and that was it. I mean, not to be seen and not to be heard. Like, I didn't have a voice. So during this time and reflecting, they told me how they felt about me. And I had to forgive my parenting. And I bring it up to this day, where I was raising children as a child. So what does that really look like? How am I really showing up? New perspective. Like, I wasn't mentally developed enough to even deal with the situations and the crises that were showing up in my life. So that's why I try to undead myself, because there was no hope. I had no hope. So when the temper showed up, it was a time for me to do all of my steps and to be serious about my life and about my steps, and taking things and not with a grain of salt, but real, this is serious. This is how I want to be. This is how I want my children to live a different life and have a voice and to be seen and loved, right? And so when I think about the crack epidemic and what we lost in our traditions as being a family arrangement, and what a detriment it's caused, and how some of us are still fighting to get the respect that was lost, and that sometimes we're still losing that battle when we look at some of our women who's raising children with no respect, no regards for life, no, let your grandma sit down on the bus type of thing. So when the number 14, which is communication, innovation in business, and prosperity and balance and timing, I'm going to pull out, grab those opportunities that come your way, be patient, and forgive. And that's going to be, what I coin, what I glean from this, from my own journey and being the fool. So I'll say it again because it might be, convoluted. Number 14, communication. And you know, when you break it down, it's a 5. The 1 and 4 is a 5, which is healing and change. Allow that space to happen. Allow balance and harmony to come in. And it's that inner knowing, that inner truth that we all have, that we have to become conscious and be aware of. And just letting it flow, letting that spirit flow, that breath of life, letting that sun shine and being grateful. Yeah, the temperance card. What was interesting when I started learning to read tarot, I would draw the temperance card every day. I'm like, why does this card keep coming up? And that's why it's like, you know, I can go on and on and on about the temperance and Michael the Archangel and Raphael and all of these, you know, it's so layered. It's so layered and there's so much information that I can't even give you in 20 minutes. But the bare minimum is be patient with yourself and forgive yourself. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Why is that important coming from the death?
Because if you don't, you're just going to die for real. When you don't forgive, the stress that brings about is heart attacks, stroke. When we don't forgive, it eats away at ourselves, the liver. It's stored in the liver if you don't forgive. All of this, it wreaks havoc on the body, on our cellular structure. We kill ourselves when we don't forgive. We do it to ourselves. Letting things go will allow us to live a little bit longer. That's for real. That's real.
And so, as the Fool, we come to this place of understanding. As I stated before, having gone through an interesting journey up into this place of the temperance, here we learn the power of forgiveness.
Forgiveness heals.
What a beautiful place to be in. Next week, we'll be heading into the devil and then into the tower. And so I'm curious about what that has to offer us as we come up out of the temple. But until then, we're going to close ourselves out with this advertisement for Black Jewell Tarot reading. Again, you know that these tarot readings can tell you a little bit about where you are in your journey. And so it's always important to check in, to tap in. And so when you get an opportunity, don't wait too long. Do it now. With the sense of waiting for tomorrow, what you can do today. So go to the description below, click that link, and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. Never message. Please make sure to get schedule your appointment today. And really tap in. Tap in, tap in, tap in. With that being said, we are Black Jewell. We're out.